Men are no longer respected the way they used to be. Not because society has changed, not because women are stronger, but because they have weakened themselves. They beg for approval, fear losing their girlfriends, and trade their freedom just to keep a relationship. They forget that a man cannot be respected if he does not respect himself. If you've ever felt disregarded by women, if you've ever asked yourself, why isn't she interested in me anymore? The answer is right here in this video. I will reveal 7 deadly mistakes that intelligent men never make with women. If you're guilty of any of them, it's time to change. Watch until the end, because the final mistake might be the one destroying your life without you even realizing it. If you feel the positive energy, don't forget to like this video and share a meaningful comment. Have you ever seen a man grovel before a woman? He bends over backward, makes endless sacrifices, and worships her like a goddess. And then what happens? She gets bored and tosses him aside like an old toy. Here's the harsh truth. Women don't want to be placed on a pedestal. They want a man of value, a man with principles, not a spineless worshiper. Worship kills attraction. Weak men believe that if they treat a woman like a queen, she will treat them like a king. Dead wrong. Women are not attracted to men who grovel at their feet. They are drawn to men with standards, self-respect, and a strong sense of self-worth. A man who values himself doesn't blindly worship anyone. When you idolize a woman, you stop seeing her as she really is. You overlook red flags, toxic behaviors, and unacceptable attitudes. You convince yourself she's perfect, until one day the illusion shatters and you realize you were nothing more than a pawn in her game. You don't need to be cruel, but you must be realistic. This doesn't mean you should mistreat or look down on women, but you must see them for who they are, people with strengths, weaknesses, agendas, and flaws. When you put someone too high above yourself, you create an imbalance. You hand them all the power, and in doing so, you lose control over your own life. A Stoic man understands that he doesn't need to worship anyone to receive love or respect. He lives by his principles, and if a woman wants to be part of his life, she has to accept that. There's no pedestal for anyone. The key lesson: if you're in a relationship, ask yourself, do you treat her like a normal person or like a deity? If it's the latter, wake up. Mutual respect is the foundation of any strong relationship. A woman will never truly respect a man who does not respect himself. Do you know what instantly kills a man's attractiveness? Begging. Begging for validation, begging for approval from women. Strong men do not seek acceptance from anyone, especially not from women. But unfortunately, most men today fall into this psychological trap without even realizing it. When you beg for approval, you lose your value. Women may not say it out loud, but they can sense your weakness when you seek their approval. They can feel it when you change your opinions just to please them, when you try too hard to impress, when you do everything just for a simple compliment. And when they realize it, they start to lose respect for you. Remember this brutal truth. Women don't want a man who constantly tries to please them. They want a man they have to work to please. When you tie your self-worth to a woman's approval, you turn yourself into a puppet in her hands. You lose control, and she will no longer respect you. Stop acting like a boy. Start living like a man. Most men seek approval because they fear rejection. They think that if they do everything a woman wants, she will never leave them. But the reality? The more you do this, the more she sees you as weak and insecure. And nothing kills attraction faster than that. Remember, women are drawn to men who don't need to prove anything. They are attracted to men who are confident in themselves, in their decisions, and who don't need external validation. Have you ever seen a lion begging for a lioness's attention? No. He is a lion, and he knows his presence alone is enough to command respect. Learn from nature, stop seeking approval, and instead focus on becoming the strongest version of yourself. Live by your own principles. If you want to be a real man, set your own principles and follow them, no matter what anyone says. If you like a certain style, a certain hobby, a certain way of living, stick to it, instead of changing just to fit someone else's expectations. A man with principles becomes the center of the game. Women are not the goal you chase. They are the ones drawn to your energy and confidence. The key lesson: next time you find yourself trying too hard to please someone, stop and ask yourself, are you doing this because you truly want to, or because you're seeking approval? Do you change your opinions just to avoid conflict? Do you feel anxious when you don't receive validation from others? If the answer is yes, you're on the wrong path. Stop seeking approval and start living like a real man. If this video made you think, hit like now. Comment below. How have you applied Stoicism in your life? Stoic success, unbreakable mindset, total control. Men afraid of losing women? A deadly mistake. The moment you fear losing someone, you've already placed them above yourself. And by doing that, you've lost your attractiveness, your control, and even their respect. Women don't leave men because they're broke or not good-looking enough. They leave because they no longer feel attracted. And the fastest way to kill attraction is fear. Fear that she'll leave. Fear that she'll lose interest. Fear that she'll find someone better. When this fear takes over, you start acting needy. You try too hard to please her. You compromise endlessly. You do everything just to keep her from walking away. But that desperation, it only pushes her away faster. Look at the men women chase after. Do they fear losing anyone? No, because they understand a simple truth. When you have value, you never have to fear losing anyone. A man with a career, a purpose, a life of his own, knows that if a woman leaves, he will still be fine. He doesn't beg, he doesn't cling, he doesn't feel the need to prove anything. And that very attitude makes women want to stay. A strong man never makes a woman the center of his world. He has his own life, his own passions, and he doesn't sacrifice everything just to keep someone around. Instead, she has to work to keep him. If she wants to leave, he lets her go, without hesitation. Because he understands one fundamental truth: men don't cling, men choose. If you're feeling afraid of losing someone, stop and take a hard look at your life. Have you been so focused on the relationship that you've forgotten yourself? Have you abandoned your goals, your passions, your principles just to keep someone close? If the answer is yes, then it's time for an immediate change. Women are not attracted to men who beg for love. They are drawn to men who know their worth and aren't afraid to walk away when necessary. Remember this: you are the prize, not her. If she wants to leave, hold the door open for her and keep living your life. A real man never fears losing anyone, because he knows he can have whatever he wants, whenever he wants. One of the biggest mistakes men make in relationships is forgetting themselves. They meet a woman, they fall for her, and little by little, they lose what makes them valuable. They start skipping workouts, neglecting their careers, distancing themselves from friends, abandoning their passions, all just to spend more time with her. Sounds romantic? In reality, it's the perfect formula for self-destruction and for making her lose interest. Women may say they want a man who always prioritizes them, who is always by their side, but that doesn't mean they want you to give up everything else to do it. The harsh truth is, they want a man of value, not a nobody who abandons the world just to chase them. When you stop growing, you stop being attractive, and when there's nothing left to admire, she will start looking elsewhere. Take a hard look at yourself. Did you used to love playing sports but quit? Did you have projects, goals, big dreams, but now everything revolves around one woman? If the answer is yes, you're on the wrong path. A Stoic man understands that a relationship is just one part of his life, not his entire existence. He doesn't abandon what makes him valuable for anyone. Instead, he keeps building, keeps evolving, and if someone wants to come along for the ride, great. If not, they can leave, and he will still be fine. If you truly want a woman to crave you, never stop moving forward. Stay disciplined in your fitness, keep advancing in your career, maintain strong friendships, and pursue the things that make you stronger. A man is most attractive when he has a mission, a goal, and an unstoppable drive to keep improving. Women are not a reason to abandon yourself. If someone enters your life, they should add value to it, not take it away. And if you have to lose yourself just to keep a woman around, that's not love, that's self-destruction. There's a truth most men don't realize. Women don't win arguments with logic. They win with emotion. If you think you can rationally explain your way into changing a woman's mind when she's angry, frustrated, or hurt, you're living in a fantasy. Inexperienced men get trapped in endless arguments. They try to prove they're right using logic to educate their woman. But here's the problem. Emotions don't respond to logic. You might win the argument, but you'll lose the relationship. Don't mistake this for letting women control you. Stoic men don't submit foolishly. They simply understand that some arguments aren't worth engaging in. When a woman is emotionally charged, trying to fix the situation with reason will only make things worse. Instead, control your energy, stay calm, and set clear boundaries. A strong man doesn't waste time proving his point to someone caught up in emotion. He understands that real control isn't about winning an argument. It's about not needing to argue in the first place. If an issue truly matters, address it when both of you are calm. If it doesn't, let it go and move on with your life. Stoic men don't waste energy on meaningless battles. They focus only on what truly matters. Instead of trying to be right, focus on maintaining your value and letting trivial things pass like the wind. A smart man knows when to speak, and more importantly, when to stay silent. If you look back at all these mistakes, you'll notice one common theme. They all stem from weakness. Modern men are too afraid. Afraid of losing women, afraid of not being accepted, afraid of conflict, afraid of being alone. And it is these fears that turn them into spineless, easily manipulated men who sacrifice themselves just to please others. But a real man does not live in fear. He controls himself. He lives by his own principles. And if someone cannot accept that, he lets them go. If you want respect, start by respecting yourself. Stop seeking approval. Stop letting people control your life. Stop giving up your freedom for a relationship. A strong man doesn't need to prove anything. He simply is. And that is what makes him valuable. You can love, but never lose yourself. The world doesn't need more weak men. It needs warriors. Who do you choose to be? Thank you for being here. If you found this video helpful, subscribe, turn on notifications, and like this video. Don't forget to leave a comment so we can spread positivity together.